Video Games Recon.
Hello and welcome. My name is Nate from Video Games Recon, and in this series of videos we're going to review each Call of Duty Advanced Warfare weapon. First off, if you've already seen this intro in a previous review video, feel free to skip ahead to the time on screen. These videos should be fairly short, and at the end of each video there will be a link to a breakdown of what I think is the best, or at least my favourite weapon in said class. Also, the footage will probably be a mix of multiplayer and local games, i.e. with bots, as I may not have unlocked all weapons at the time of recording, and each weapon will be reviewed as the standard weapon in each class and with similar loadouts for as fair a comparison as possible. Please keep in mind this is just my humble opinion, and due to your playstyle your opinion may differ, which is perfectly fine, and in such case please don't rage out and lose your shit. Instead, feel free to post your thoughts in the comments section. Anywho, without any further ado, let's do it to it. The EM1 is the first energy weapon available in heavy category, and is available out of the gates from rank 1 and doesn't need any levelling in order to acquire. This weapon is a funny one, like all of the directed energy weapons. It comes with no ammo, and instead it has an overheating dynamic, something akin to a battery pack, in that you can only fire this weapon for a set period of time before it overheats, approximately 4.5 seconds of constant fire before overheating without a heatsink attachment. And a cooldown period is needed, again akin to a battery charge, in order to use, which can leave you a sitting duck. That said, in my experience that rarely happens. Once you get your head around this weapon, you tend to shoot your weapon in short controlled bursts and rarely end up overheating. I could see how it could be more of an issue in more breakneck game modes like free-for-all for example, but in general a heatsink attachment, although beneficial, is not necessary. All that said, this weapon is not very good. Sure, it looks really cool and all, but its damage feels pretty weak, even though it says it has the highest damage in its class, which doesn't translate in real terms and often falls short unless using it at longer ranges, or you get the jump on your target. As in a straight up shootout, you'll find yourself more often than not on the losing side. Also, when using the EM1 at longer ranges, as previously discussed, the directed energy from the weapon is a dead giveaway to your firing position, making you bantha fodder for all those snipers out there. On the upside, recoil, although a little unpredictable, is negligible. Although with it being a laser, it begs the question why it has any recoil at all. Anywho, this weapon is great for hipfire, probably the best in the game, which I could see being a real advantage on PC, as hipfire is far more useful on that platform. Also, its most obvious plus point is its lack of need for ammunition, which is a particular bonus and means you don't need to run things like scavenger and waste a slot of your precious pick 13. So, the EM1 is an interesting weapon, if a not very useful one in most game modes, aside from the hardcore playlist, where its lack of damage isn't such a handicap, and in such case this weapon can be pretty handy for both kills and suppression. Okay, first off, I'm probably murdering this name, but here goes nothing. The PYTAEK is your standard does what it says on the tin kind of LMG, and reminds me of weapons from previous Call of Duty incarnations such as the Hammer and LSAT, off the top of my head. The PYTAEK seems a pretty well balanced gun in most if not all aspects, aside from handling, which is particularly bad on this weapon. It also comes with good damage, only needing about 3 to 5 bullets in centre mass to get a kill, and comes with a really nice iron sight with its own little holographic hood built in as standard. Also, it has the best accuracy in its class and has a nifty little trick akin to the Hammer from Black Ops 2, in that when fired this weapon's recoil reduces over time. And speaking of recoil, this is a major stumbling block for this weapon, as the recoil on this gun is pretty high and tends to obscure your vision a little. Also, you feel like you're walking around with lead weights on your feet as you move pretty slow, which is compounded by its low mobility stat. The exo jump goes some way to counteracting this, but lightweight is still a must for this weapon and class in general. So, this weapon isn't that great on average for use in Twitch shootouts. However, where this weapon really comes into play is in terms of suppressing lines of sight in order to help your team, as the ammo capacity on the PYTAEK is quite large and means you can throw a lot of lead downrange before needing to reload. Also, should you be inclined, it could be pretty useful for camping, even though it's a bit harder to do in this game. All in all, an okay weapon, if a little underwhelming. So, nothing worth writing home to mum and dad about. But never mind what I think, what do you think of the guns in Advanced Warfare so far? Feel free to post your thoughts on the weapons in this class in the comments section. So, that just leaves me to say, if you enjoyed this video, please help support us by liking, sharing, favouriting and subbing for more BS of a similar nature. Thank you and goodbye.